so that Mel has a copy of this. And then I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right, welcome to Essential Oils and Sleep. So this presentation I've modified, I'll be modifying off the cuff a little bit, being that I think a lot of us here are already doTERRA members. Please correct me if that is incorrect. I don't see how we have the chat available. Give me 1 second. Okay. I don't see the chat window when I'm presenting. So if you know how to change that, please let me know. But otherwise, if anybody wants to chime in, feel free to unmute yourself and we can go from there. But ultimately tonight, if I skip over stuff, it'll be because I think that you might know it, but please stop me with questions. I don't mind at all. So we're going to talk about essential oils and sleep tonight. Oops. A little bit about me, if we have yet to meet, my name is Wilmarose Erlanis. I'm a wife and a mama. I'm a creative art director and prop stylist here in Los Angeles. I believe in natural and practical wellness, but I also believe that it has a symbiotic relationship with modern medicine. I started my oil journey about 6 years ago when I was just curious about how to treat my family naturally, take care of us. I was pregnant at the time when I was dabbling in oils and trying to learn as much as I could. And then I had her, and then she went to daycare, got sick, brought home all the good stuff, got me sick. And so parenting a sick child while sick is just another form of torture. So I started to really dive deeper into essential oils and tried to figure out, okay, how can I make this work for us? So it's why I started. My family's why I started, and it's also why I continue. So we are going to cover a bunch of different things today. We're going to do basics. We're going to touch upon those, but we're also going to talk about sleep, okay? So what are essential oils? As many of you know, they are the superfuel of a plant. Air conditioning just coming off. They are the superfuel of the plant, and they provide our bodies with so much support, from antimicrobial to antibacterial, pain-killing, antiseptic, anti-spasmodic, which is like muscle spasms, and anti-inflammatory benefits, helps to boost the immune system, so on and so forth. I use it in all my natural cleaning products. I look at essential oils as one of my main tools to thrive. Okay, looks like someone is joining. Let me just go ahead and let them in. All right, let's continue. Welcome. We are just starting, so go ahead and get cozy. I started to look, here we go. When I started to learn about essential oils, one of the things that I really was drawn to was the fact that one problem can be addressed by many different oils, and one oil can address many different problems. We, as a whole, look at essential oils as a tool, like I said, to thrive. But the one thing in modern medicine, that a term that we use often, are side effects. And the one thing that I love about essential oils is that this one bottle of oil can have many side benefits. And so that's something I'm going to keep going back to today, especially when it comes to sleep. As many of you know, they're very concentrated and potent. The 1 drop of peppermint oil equaling 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's always been such a point that I like to address, especially when it comes to sleep. And for those of you that don't know, it takes 22 seconds for molecules to reach the brain, 2 minutes for it to be found in your bloodstream, and 20 minutes for it to affect the entire body. I don't know about you, but back in the day when I would grab the 200 milligram Advil and pop a few of those and wait for it to remove a headache or wait for it to remove body aches, it would take a while to kick in. But my essential oils have proven to not take that long. If anything, they're almost instant. So I am going to go through this, being that we are mainly all oil users already. Is there anyone here new to essential oils, like brand spanking new? Nope. Okay, great. I don't have the chat up, so if you want to unmute, you're welcome to like pipe in, but chime in, I should say. But they are the most pure form of essential oils. doTERRA essential oils are most tested. Especially when it comes to sleep, we are going to be talking about ingesting oils. So I want to make sure that ingesting oils, sorry, I got distracted by a little puppet that's coming into the screen. When we're talking about ingesting oils, we want to make sure that what you're putting in your body is in fact safe and well tested, and definitely something you feel comfortable putting in. This is something I always like to highlight in my classes. It's the heartbeat of doTERRA. It's something that I think as advocates here, let's add someone in, as if we're an advocate in this room, it's something that we feel strongly about when it comes to doTERRA. The co-impact sourcing, our Healing Hands Foundation, the transparency. When I started talking about oils to my husband and telling him about doTERRA, the transparency was one of those things that really got me, convinced that I need to bring these oils, these specific oils, into my home. And just to briefly touch upon the 3 different ways that we're going to be able to use essential oils, there's aromatically in a diffuser, topically, which is for the most part diluted, and internally. These are just a few examples of how we can use oils aromatically, recipes. If you're one of my members, please ask me for these cards digitally. If not, I can send them the hard copies to you if you haven't had them already. Topically, it's one of my favorite things, how methods of using essential oils are the rollers, just because I can take them anywhere and everywhere. Oops, this got back. So on my Instagram, and many of us on the Obsessed with Essentials team have this graphic, but it's how, where, and how to apply essential oils. This is I'm gonna touch upon this when we talk about sleep, because this is gonna be really important in building your sleep routine. Different parts of the body make a huge difference in where we apply our oils, especially how fast we want them to go into our bloodstream. Internally, the purity of doTERRA makes it possible for us to ingest these oils internally. I've taken On Guard straight in a teaspoon with Manuka honey, but back in the day, but now thankfully they're encapsulated in these soft gels. And we are going to be talking a lot about Copaiba and Serenity tonight. And just to cover a few bases, safety with oils, never in the nose, eyes, or ear canal. We want to be mindful of hot oils and photosensitive oils. Look for the supplement facts on the backs of your bottles. If they do not have any, that means do not ingest them. And before ingesting, I always say we are specifically talking about doTERRA oils. Use stainless steel or glass always, and understand proper dilution. And when in doubt, always dilute. All right, so let's talk about sleep. With a show of hands or, a chat, hello, I'd love to know who here struggles with sleep and exactly what part of sleep do you struggle with? Because there's the falling asleep part, there is the staying asleep, and then there's getting good quality sleep. I didn't quite understand this until I had a kid. Before having a kid, I slept like a baby. I definitely felt like I was getting the best sleep ever, and then I had a child, and then she was a wonderful eater. She was a happy baby. She just didn't sleep. And so therefore I did not sleep. Now she's 6 years old. I am able to technically get sleep, but I had a hard time in the past year with with the combination of stress and anxiety, and just the fact that you sleep with one eye open as a mother. I was having trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. And then it wasn't till after I addressed the sleep with my oils that I then realized I was not getting good quality sleep the past 6 years. So that was something super important to me. If you just joined, welcome. We are just diving into the sleep portion of the presentation. So make yourselves at home, get comfy. If you want to pop into the chat and let us know if you're Obsessed with Essentials team, or if you're new to oils, as much information as possible to share would be great. All right, So let's dive in. Why is sleep so important? Most people look at sleep as a passive rest time, but rather we should be looking at it as a very critical time. Sorry, one second. Resume share. So we should be looking at it as a critical time of dynamic change and important changes in our body. Virtually all body systems in our body are impacted by the amount of sleep and the quality of sleep we get. Things like cell renewal, tissue repair, immune cell replenishment and antibody creation, memory consolidation, new brainwave pathways are formed, metabolism and appetite regulation when people talk about weight loss and trying to maintain a physical, physique. Sleep has a lot to do with that. Release of growth hormones to boost muscle mass. Now, if you're lifting heavy weights and you're not sure why your body's not building muscle, it might be because you're not getting enough sleep. Mood regulation. If I don't get good sleep, I am not fun to be around in the morning. And restoration of nervous, immune, and musculoskeletal systems. So all of these are very important when we're talking about our whole health. Whole health is physical, mental, emotional, and basically overall mood. We need to look at sleep as the golden chain that ties our health and our bodies together. And, when you think about your sleep, we as adults should be averaging about 7 to 8 hours a night of uninterrupted sleep, according to the Sleep Foundation. That doesn't always happen. We wake up without even knowing that we're waking up sometimes. Or when we do wake up, we have a hard time getting back to sleep. So that's where my oils came into play. All right, so when it came to sleep and benefiting your overall wellness, doTERRA has provided so many amazing blog posts on these and articles. This one in particular, I can send you the link directly. It's one that I've referenced to clients in the past because it has great citations, first of all. And second, it really just highlights all the different things that sleep can help with. So healthy blood pressure levels, healthy blood sugar regulations. My diabetic members are definitely, they don't look at their sleep at all. They don't think about their sleep when it comes to regulating their blood sugar. They think about what they're eating and maybe moving their body, but they never think about sleep. So that's something to note. A strong immune system. When I'm traveling, I'm usually not getting the best kind of sleep possible. And that's when my immune system tends to suffer most. So it's trying to support that, support the sleep aspect and support the immune aspect of my body. Healthy weight, mental health. Supporting mental health is huge, especially this past year. Cognitive health, and overall a longer life. So I'm going to send that link out to everybody if you want it, but it's such a great article. And then here are my overall tips for rest, relaxation, and sleep. The one thing that I want everyone to walk away with tonight is the fact that you need to understand getting great sleep is more than just the oils. It's a lifestyle, and the oils support that lifestyle. The oils and the products that you use are your tools to help you get to the end goal, which is a restful night's sleep. So eating right, making sure that food's rich in fiber and low in saturated fats that can help you fall asleep faster and increase the amount of deep sleep. Exercising regularly, but also being mindful of the timing. I used to work out late at night and then fall asleep, but I would wake up. So I started to realize my body wasn't ready to fall asleep after coming home from a hard workout. And even now, my body's tired, but my brain is firing because your neurons and your overall body is just so worked up from the workout. You want to set a schedule, but when you do, you want to be mindful of creating a rhythm and avoiding sleep disruptors. You want to avoid stimulants late in the day like coffee and alcohol before bed. So I used to be the biggest fan of a nightcap. I still am, but I know I'll suffer for it because the sugar in the wine or the sugar in the cocktails will eventually get you to wake up in the middle of the night and disrupt that REM sleep if you get there. You might fall asleep because of that nightcap, but you'll wake up for sure. And one of the things to keep in mind is don't lie awake in bed. that feeling of, I can't sleep, and getting frustrated and getting restless, it's not only going to keep you awake, it's going to aggravate you as well. So I would suggest getting up, move your body, go get a glass of water, go get a drink of water, whatever. Just reset your bedtime routine instead of staying in bed. And then lastly, it's supporting your body with pure therapeutic grade essential oils. So the top oils for sleep. I want to say that sleep can be addressed in so many different ways. What works for me might not work for anyone here, and vice versa. People love wild orange for sleep. Personally, it's hard for me because I equate citrus with energy. So to me, I might leave it out or I might lessen it in the blend. But let's dive in. Are there any questions? Okay, great. So lavender, sleep and relaxation, mood and depression, anxiety. I mean, it's great for a bunch of other things like burns, but when it comes to sleep, lavender is usually what people grab or suggest first. Now there's vetiver, balance, and wild orange. If you're not familiar with these oils already, they are some of the most amazing oils and blends that doTERRA has. They, in combination with each other or used on their own, can be very relaxing and can even just help with overall mood. I put adaptive in here specifically because when we're talking about sleep at the end of the night, it's usually affected by stress during the day. So adaptive has been my mental health oil, especially this past year, and it's what gets me through stressful moments. I mean, not even just stressful, but just high anxiety moments. Cedarwood, peace, and Roman chamomile. The Roman chamomile, as you know, if there's a kid in the house that needs help with sleep, Roman chamomile is definitely on my list for that. And peace has been one of my favorite blends to diffuse recently with serenity when I've needed a little bit of extra emotional support when going to sleep. So the top oil that I always suggest is serenity, right? There's emotional support, encourages calm mind. I don't know about you, but this is probably one of my favorite oils and an oil that I have on repeat in my LRP. This along with the Serenity Restful Complex. So before starting my routine, I didn't take the internal supplement. I was only doing Serenity diffusing and then rolling. And I would fall asleep, I would relax, but it wasn't what really kept me asleep. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But Calmer is our kids roller blend. I also use this. I just have to use it more often just because it's diluted for kids. But this is such a great roller to have. When it comes to sleep, I want to talk a little bit more about the ingredients of the Serenity Soft Gel. So lavender specifically, in each serving, there's of the 2 soft gels that's recommended, there's enough lavender in there to support relaxation and restful sleep. L-theanine is a non-protein amino acid found in green tea, but it's studied for its calming and effective properties on the nervous system. And then the botanical extracts that are in the rest of the Serenity Soft Gel, German chamomile, lemon balm, and passion flower extracts are some of the most soothing and relaxing botanicals and are very, attuned to restful sleep. So another thing I wanted to talk about was copaiba. So copaiba is our CBD of oils. It also is uplifting. It's great for stress and anxiety, sore muscles. It's great for so many things. And then there's the copaiba soft gels. So this copaiba soft gels have the same effects that copaiba oil has on the body, except taken internally. There's more benefits to that. But one thing that a lot of people will do is compare CBD and copaiba. I personally had a hard time buying into CBD when it first launched because it wasn't regulated, or I couldn't find anything or any research to say otherwise. And I always questioned it. It's something that I'm like, okay, I'm a customer of doTERRA. I understand their transparency. I appreciate their transparency. Now I'm looking at all the other companies the same way. Where's your transparency? And that's one thing that CBD companies did not have, at least when I looked, and still don't, from my understanding. But copaiba and CBD work with some of the same biological systems. So it's natural that people want to compare them. but it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison because Copaiba has benefits that can't be achieved by CBD. So let's break it down a little bit more. Okay, so what is a cannabinoid? It's a chemical compound that affects one or both of the cannabinoid receptors in the body. So there's CB1 and CB2. CB1 is primarily found in our nervous system, connective tissues, organs, and glands. CB2 is primarily found in the immune system. And there's 3 types of cannabinoids. So there's CBD, which we're familiar with. It's naturally occurring in cannabis and hemp plants. When you get it, it's usually a 2 to 4% concentration. CBD specifically interacts with CB2 in very low concentration. So in that one, say there's a CBD oil bottle, right? Let's just pretend this is the CBD oil bottle. The CBD itself is actually not an oil. It's an isolate. So it's mainly carrier oil that are in those bottles that if you're going to buy, and very, very little CBD. THC is naturally occurring in cannabis, commonly known for marijuana. But the one thing about this, it's known for its effects of giving a high when smoking it or ingesting it or doing whatever it is that you want to do with it. And it's from anywhere from 5 to 30% concentration. It interacts with the CB1 receptor, usually giving that a psychotropic effect, so that high. Now, BCP, which is what is found in Copaiba, interacts with the CB2 and is in higher concentration. When I say higher concentration, I'm talking about like 50 to 60%. So overall, Copaiba is less expensive. It's drug-free. It's free of heavy metals, contaminants, and pesticides because we are not able to see what CBD has in it. The side benefits can include supporting the immune function, supporting the healthy circulatory system, and inflammation reduction in the entire body. Are there any questions about CBD and Copaiba? I know this is a question that comes up often with my customers in text, especially because CBD is so accessible. And sometimes, they look at it as cheaper than what Copaiba might be. But I can tell you from experience, Copaiba is one of my favorite oils. It's a root oil, right? Or it comes from a tree. So it has this very earthy scent to it. But to me, I don't know if over time, it smells like warm baked chocolate chip cookies. I don't know why, but it does. So those are my 2 cents. So let's start talking about protocols. So when we think about protocols, and if you're not familiar with the term protocol, it's basically a treatment, a process, a step. How do you introduce this item or these oils into your daily life? And my biggest suggestion is internally, I would take 1 to 2 Serenity soft gels 20 minutes before sleep. If you need extra support, and this is my favorite route to go, it's 1 Serenity and 1 Copaiba soft gel. There's something different about it. It's a deeper sleep for me. And I tend to benefit from that type of sleep when I'm either have a really heavy workout or I've been on my feet for 14 hours for work. So that combination is amazing. I diffuse Serenity or your favorite sleep bin. I started about the same time that I take my internal supplements. And then I roll on a diluted blend of oils onto the soles of my feet, specifically the inner arch and the big toe, on my pulse points, over my heart, and then down my spine. We want to get to the points in our body that have the easiest access to all of our nerve endings and easy access to our bloodstreams. These are more ways you can support your body with essential oils. So this is another blend that some people love to do is Serenity, lavender, cedarwood, and peace combined in a 10 ml roller with FCO and as well rolled on your pulse points and the bottoms of your feet. One popular blend is lavender, Copaiba, vetiver, and Serenity in the diffuser. Like I mentioned, taking Serenity soft gels 20 to 30 minutes before going to bed. For me, it's 20 minutes. Some people need 30. But one thing to think about too is your daily supplements, what you take throughout the day on an everyday basis. And the LLV for me has helped tremendously with overall energy, overall like skin, health, like hair, it's just made such a difference in my mood and in the way my body functions, coupled with my PB assist, and that department's great for that. It's working well for that department, but daily supplements have been key to also incorporating this into my sleep routine. One thing too is to practice meditation, yoga, gratitude practice. Whatever it is that's going to center and ground you will help with sleep, whether it's something you do in the morning and at night, which is what I do. At least I try to do this, is I have a morning meditation and an evening meditation, and it's all surrounded and centered around gratitude. So that really helps me. doTERRA put this together, and I thought it was such a cute little infographic, but it's true. Basically everything we talked about. Music can help. Incorporating the oils into your bath. So I love putting serenity and peace and maybe even balance in my Epsom salt and doing a bath soak if I'm going to do it at night. And we use the serenity bath bar, like the soap, as part of our night routine in our bath time, like with my daughter. These are more blends, diffuser blends, and specific oils. So Melissa, cilantro, thyme, Roman chamomile, clary sage, which is great for hormone support. So I love incorporating that oil into my sleep blend around that time of the month. Sandalwood, Hawaiian sandalwood, balance, breathe, serenity, all great oils to incorporate into your sleep. Now, there are room sprays and linen sprays that you can DIY. This one, we call it the Sweet Sparkly Dreams spray in my house, but these two, this one's in my room. It's actually this one. I use Serenity and Breathe in this one, and I put Serenity, Breathe, and cedarwood. And in my daughter's, it's just Serenity and Breathe. I love making Roman chamomile tea with the oil. That's one of my favorite ways to use it. And then when we think about our littles, lullaby and good night. It's not always a good night, even as many lullabies as we sing. So I love to roll on oils. I love to diffuse oils in my daughter's room as part of her routine. This is the Sleepy Baby blend that I love using, especially when it comes to night terrors and just uneasy transitions or growth spurts or cutting new teeth. This is something I love to put in her diffuser, which is vetiver, serenity, juniper berry, and Roman chamomile. I might add in balance in there, depending on the mood, her mood or mine. We use Calmer Roller. And then this is something that if you don't have already, should put it on your wish list. This is the doTERRA Dawn humidifier. Humidifier and diffuser. So I used to, back in the day, have a diffuser and a humidifier in her room. And it's great. You could do that still if that's what you prefer, but this is both in one. And when it was during winter, when the heaters were on, I would love to put Breathe in here to help open up airways and just to make sure that, she's supported in that way too. So being that you're a member already, because I don't believe we have anyone new here, one of the LRP perks are these wellness programs. And if you don't know about these yet, it's one of the easiest ways to download information and the appropriate products for a targeted challenge. And this one happens to address sleep. So it's 3 bundles, $75 each. You can either get them for 3 months or you can get them all at one time, but they all target sleep in the most beautiful way. So you get, like in the first kit, you get cedarwood, serenity, the soft gels, a roller, calmer roller, bath salts, and then you get a gratitude journal. The kit 2 has a small magnolia roller, has a breathe oil, serenity touch, magnolia petitgrain, has the serenity body butter. I don't know why that was so difficult to say. And then kit 3 has lavender, bergamot, mint, peace touch, which I really am looking forward to. Balance touch as well. It has adaptive, it has a 5 ml adaptive. It has the serenity linen mist. I shared the DIY earlier, but this one I wish they sold because I would just buy this one. And bath oil. The bath oil is something I'm looking forward to as well. And one thing to keep in mind is that with this LRP wellness program, you're able to get these particular products at an additional 20% off. So you can add these to it. I believe the Lullu's diffuser comes down to like $32 or $33 when you add it to this bundle or this wellness program. So you are all part of our oil community. I wanted to touch upon the fact that we have some amazing resources. If you don't already partake in the Facebook group or our website, these are amazing resources that just you have at your fingertips, especially in the middle of the night when you need like a quick fix to, okay, my kid is not sleeping, but I've tried XYZ. You can probably type it into the Facebook group and see what has worked for everybody else in the comments. It was how I got through like the first year of life of my daughter. Ebooks, you name it, when there's probably an ebook on it in our community. And that's the beautiful thing about this, is that we have access to all of these amazing resources as part of the Obsessed with Essentials team. Dilution charts. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out or reach out to your upline or whoever signed you up, because everyone does things a little bit differently, but for the most part, there is a standard way of diluting your oils. There are, recipes for days for pretty much everything that you can think of. And these are all the perks of our community, like I mentioned. When I introduced the sleep program, there's also mind and mood, respiratory, immune support, and relief, which is pain management. That one I love, 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 love. I have tried mind and mood. This is my favorite, especially because I use these oils every day. This is how I refill them. I refill them by doing these programs because it's so much more cost effective to do it this way. And being that we've already gotten started with essential oils in here, I'm just going to open it up to questions at this time. Does anyone have any specific questions or want me to go back to a certain slide or discuss anything further?
I have a question. I know people use melatonin to help them sleep. Would this be in lieu of that?
So melatonin, one thing I want to say is when you take melatonin, the most common reaction the next day is grogginess. And L-theanine does this, like it provides the same effect on the body to help you fall asleep without the grogginess. So I have some clients who have issues with like ADHD or anxiety, PTSD, and they're on sleep aids. And so one thing we've been trying to do is to wean them off the sleep aids and just using Serenity.
Okay.
It's an amazing transition for them to see how less reliant they can be on those medications.
Yeah, and specifically, I know someone who actually gives their children melatonin. They have gummies.
Yeah.
So is Serenity child safe?
I wouldn't give a child anything internally. But what I would say is that child might benefit from the calmer roller down their spine for sure. And just bath, like putting them in the bath, like putting Serenity in the bath would help a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? You can type them in too if you're shy.
I just had one about the kits. So if you sign up for 3 months, can you, it has to be all 3 from that program?
You have to go in that order.
I see. Okay.
But you can stop after the first month or you can stop after the second month.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. But for like the relief kit, there was a specific roller I wanted, but it came in kit 2.
Oh.
So I went and did that because I didn't care for what was in kit 3 at the time.
Right.
So I stopped it. But some people buy all 3 in
at
one,
once.
not at once, but in 1 month.
Oh, in 1 month, I see.
Like you have to process the order, process the order.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, yeah.
Okay.
But the sleep one, that one they just came out with the other month, and it hits all of like the basic sleep protocols in like a great way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope that was helpful. Introducing oils into my life has been amazing, but utilizing them for mood and anxiety, and then yes, the recording will be available, but mood and anxiety and then also sleep has been life-changing because I didn't realize the lack of sleep I was getting or the lack of quality sleep. Um, if you know, if you haven't already, I would try the internal supplements. Those ones work the best for me. I love diffusing and I love rolling, but the internal supplements are like clutch. Those are what work best. So yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, email, DM, but thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
You too. Thank you.